guys, my name's Alex. We have met over Facebook sort of informally, so you may already know me, sort of. I looked over your draft and it looks pretty good so far. I have a couple of things that I want to bring up to you, but overall I think it was nicely done. So let's see. Where's your draft? Okay, so your first line looks good. By saying you were impressed by his first design proposal, it's very direct and it's professional, and it's like a compliment, which is a good way to start off. However, I think in the first line, when you say your idea may be a good one, I think may is probably not your best word choice here, for the reason that may means that you're not sure if it's a good choice or if it's not a good choice, but you want to be direct with Mr. Womack and tell him whether it is or is not so he knows. And you want to avoid being in the middle, saying it may be a good choice, but it may be not a good choice. So go ahead and be more direct here. You could say your idea was a good one, or your idea was not a good one. And that way he knows for sure. Let's see. Secondly, I think the problem part of your letter, problem part of the Sprice model here, when you say might and heavy in your sentence, unfortunately your animations on the homepage might be heavy for our website. Here you have two word choice suggestions. First of all, I would suggest replacing might for the same reason that I mentioned just now, saying may. May and might both imply that it could go one way or it could go another way and you're not really sure. But in a letter, especially when you're requesting something as you are in the Sprice model, you want to be as direct and clear as you can with the client or the employee so they know. So instead of saying the home page might be heavy, just go ahead and be direct and say the home page will be heavy or is heavy, something that you're sure of, instead of saying might. And also by saying heavy, I think I understand your intentions. Maybe there's too much animation, too much going on the website, but heavy doesn't really convey that. I think the right idea, but not the right word choice. So you could say the homepage might be too much for a website, or might be homepage might be heavy. Yeah, I think too much would work better. Too much meaning that there is a lot of things going on and it's too much. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Okay, so secondly, I think one of the big things here that you want to avoid is saying, after many researches, I learned that ... As an employer and as a company, you want your employees and your clients to know that you're already well informed and you have a credible reputation. You have a good history as a company. Therefore, it's not necessary for you to tell people when you've learned things as a company, because they are going to look to you to already know these things. Does that make sense? In other words, instead of saying, after many researches I learned that ... you can just say, this will be a problem for people who have slower modem connections. And again, just being more direct, and you could eliminate saying that you had learned this. And that goes the same thing for the third paragraph at the very end, when you mention, actually, slow home pages cost big companies about blah blah blah. Here you're stating a fact or a statistic, and Mr. Womack won't need to know this. It's not important to him. This is important to you as a company because you are looking to make money. But Mr. Womack is simply your employer and does not need to know this. Therefore, you can eliminate, after many researches I learned that, and you can also eliminate the last line of your third paragraph. Slow home pages cost big companies ... Both of these are serving the same purpose, and Mr. Womack does not need to know these things. So, moving on, the first part of your third paragraph, when you're talking about the, let's see, you're talking about splice. SPR, your request. I'm sorry, you're talking about your request. Okay, so I think this looks good overall. I liked your directness here. I think you did a better job being more direct. And I think you laid out your deadlines nicely. You said that you needed it within 3 weeks, which is good. The only thing here is the beginning when you say, change some parts of your design and make it less heavy. You're going to want to be more direct here with Mr. Womack and tell him what parts you need to be changed instead of just saying change some parts of your design. He won't know what exactly it is you want, so you're going to want to be direct here and say, I am writing to ask you to eliminate some of your graphics or to decrease animation, something specific that he knows what he needs to fix, instead of just saying change your design. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the third paragraph looks good other than that. In your last couple lines, in your fourth line, your consequence line of the splice model, you say, tell us in advance so we can find someone else to do it. You're trying to be direct here, which I totally understand, but it comes off almost threatening to Mr. Womack, saying that if he doesn't do his job, he will get fired. Which, even though it's true, you want to be a little more polite in saying it. So, if you eliminate this sentence in advance so we can find someone else to do it, I think your sentence will work just fine. By saying, if you can't do this in 3 weeks, please let us know, it's already implied that if he doesn't get it done, you will find someone else, and you don't need to mention it to him. Does that make sense? Okay. Lastly, I like your closing line when you say, we look forward to hearing from you. It's very professional again, very straightforward, and it's polite, which is nice. And because you say, we look forward to hearing from you, you don't need the thank you part because they both serve the same purpose. So you could eliminate thank you and just keep, we look forward to hearing from you. And I think that's it. You sign off nicely by saying your company's name, and your formatting looks good, so good job.